Scrag-lagging, guys.
We're sleepy.
We're sleepy, but we still got more work to do on the RCF.
The missile is eepy.
Therefore, we will be doing it. First things first, disconnect your negative battery terminal. It's a 14 mil on top. You can kind of get the piece that goes off of it. Let your battery drain for 10 minutes before you do this because you're taking your airbag off. Don't be stupid.
If your airbag pops, you're gonna be real upset, especially if it pops in your face.
Yeah, don't do that. This trim is on the left side. This trim is on the right. You can use a flathead to pry it out, or you can use a pry tool like I did. Pretty easy.
We didn't really mention this, but we are taking the steering wheel off and replacing it.
Oh yeah. It's back there.
It's back there.
So we are switching to a red stitch theme. The shift knob, as you can see right here, is already, point the camera, Mr. Phone Guy.
I'm trying to talk to Caesar about his car, bro.
Gosh! Is he gonna change the paddles to red too?
I doubt it, but we're talking about the bumper bracket thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So we already replaced this and this awesome start button.
So sick.
Yeah, super cool. Now, once you have those pieces off, there's 3 cotter pins. The first one's very easy to see, but the second and third ones, they're exactly on the same side on both sides. Huh?
Same height.
Same height on both sides of the wheel. You kind of have to like get your head under. So like, let me just point the camera just so you guys can see. But basically, shine a little light. The first cotter pin is right here. And when you release these cotter pins, you'll notice that like you'll like get feedback. Like it'll be like you'll feel like a little click. Once you release all 3 cotter pins, you're going to have the airbag be loose. From here, you're going to see the connections back here. That's where we're at in the step. Let me hand this back to you. So
carefully pull that out.
Make sure your battery is drained for...
Well, also carefully pull it out because you don't want to pull all the wires out the back of this thing.
Yeah. Make sure your battery has drained for 10 minutes. And then from there, you're going to take...
In fact, I'm going to scooch a little away, just on the off chance, because like I'm always nervous around airbags. I love you.
That's fair.
I'd rather not.
Let me show what's going on here.
Yeah, there you go.
Quick. You've got these 2 harnesses. These are like little clips that lock in the yellow pieces. So basically you have to release those clips in order to get the pieces to release. So here you go, take this back. Mr. Guy.
Hey, talking to Caesar, come on.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, bro.
Hey,
talking to the guy, bro.
The guy who owns the car, who owns his car sick.
Talking to the guy.
Yeah, bro. Bro.
Talking to the guy. I'm facing the steering wheel directly
at the camera.
At the camera for explosive effect.
But we should be far enough away, y'all.
Yes.
That if it does explode, it'll be really scary, but we should be okay.
Now,
the ground
right here. In order to get this off, you kind of need to press up on the middle, basically.
I actually push down on it, like pushing it away from the tab.
Yeah. This is not something you can kind of just yank off if this is your first time doing it.
Here, like, look at it kind of close.
Yeah. You can kind of see.
There's a little tabby there.
Yeah. Now, I'm disconnecting these harnesses right here, this white one and this black one up top, in order to prepare for the steering wheel removal. From there,
we need a 19.
We have to grab a 19 in order to pop this off.
So we're going to do that.
And we're going to mark to make sure that our steering wheel is aligned.
Yeah, because as you can see, it is in the locked position now, so it is kind of a little way after. Yeah, it's not going to move from there. So we're going to go ahead and make a line just right here so we know what's straight. Okay.
All right.
So we're going to grab the 19 and we'll be back.
Yep.
So Albert, you were driving the other day.
And then, you know, I was driving and this crazy lady came up out of nowhere, so I was like, and
then you had to drift away, right?
Too tired to continue. I gotta be honest. That was more than I had.
That was a lot of energy, right?
Yeah, that took a lot out.
You're like, I have a headache now.
This is actually a surprisingly difficult steering wheel to remove. Like, I've removed steering wheels off of multiple cars, and so has Indy.
Yep.
And this one required a lot of kind of hitting it to break the connection loose between the
spline shaft.
Yeah, exactly. So now we have the steering wheel off.
You can see the SRS harness
real quick,
feeds
you should mention that when we hit it, we kind of hit the edge of the steering wheel in a couple, clockwise, counterclockwise, just kind of beat it up with the hand.
You kind of have to be a little forceful with it.
Yeah, to be
More
honest
than
with
you
you.
would expect.
Yeah,
you have to be.
And then you have to wiggle it kind of left and right, left and right, left and right.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Like that Jason, what's his name? Something song. Yeah.
Okay, so now we got the steering wheel out. We're gonna start transferring parts to our new wheel. So that should be pretty straightforward.
Yeah, sure.
But obviously the first pieces to go are gonna be the paddle shifters right here. That's gonna start, basically, in my experience with the G37 steering wheel, when I stripped it down, you kind of just have to strip away parts, and then as you strip away parts, they expose more parts, and then eventually you get down to the wheel itself.
And then everything's taken apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you can see here, like just by like a cursory glance, we've got these two P2 Phillips screws right here.
You don't need to use your Lexus OEM screwdriver.
No, you do not. You can use just like a regular Phillips head screwdriver. But all of these screws are going to need to come out.
Well, yeah, because we're going to actually transfer like this whole section,
this entire
here,
piece of trim is
all the
transfer.
buttons, this guy down here, the paddles.
Yeah, we're going down to bare wheel here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start on that. Okay, so I stripped this down to the bare wheel within 5 or 10 minutes. Granted, I do have experience with removing steering wheels, but to be honest, it's very straightforward. Wires tuck around the housing in certain ways, and there is a combination of screws. So to show you guys, the screws that, what you need to pay attention to is that the screws that hold in the paddle shifters have a little bit of Loctite on them to keep the paddle shifters in place over time. You're gonna wanna do that. If you point the camera down here, I kind of placed the screws. I like to put the screws back where they came from. I like to put the screws back where they came from. So this for me is a loose diagram of what the steering wheel looks like right here. It looks like a mess, but it's actually placed.
Organized chaos.
Organized chaos. If you guys are doing this, just pay attention to how you're undoing it, and try to keep everything, in a specific place.
Set it out in a way that will help you remember where the stuff goes, basically.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. This piece, so you guys know, it fell out on me, but I did have a feeling this is a piece that creates a connection, so it engages the horn. That would go right here. In case this falls out on you, it goes right here on top. So we're going to go ahead and now take the new wheel, which, do you remember the company?
I don't remember. He didn't tell me, I don't think.
I do like this wheel a lot. I personally would do Alcantara because I'm a big fan of Alcantara, and I like that there's Alcantara in the car. But I am a big fan of red stitching steering wheels with flat bottoms, so this is pretty cool. This is something I would get on the G37.
Yeah, definitely.
I like it. Initial impressions are, it's pretty solid. Actually, give me the other wheel now that I can compare weights.
Well, now that it's all the way back here, you mean?
Yeah. This is a 2 pounds heavier, just about. Put it right here. So, but it feels solid, and I'm sure once all the stuff is on it, it's gonna feel pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is start getting this stuff back on, getting the screws back in their place, and then if something doesn't seem right or is kind of pinching like a wire, I'll figure out how it routes properly and then go from there. The only two things you're gonna need to get all of the stuff off the wheel are a P2 Phillips screwdriver and a pair of needle nose pliers for this one clip right here that pops through the rear housing right here, and that's it.
And while he's doing that, I am taking apart the airbag cover to put on this one that has the nice red stitching. And yeah, basically you can see these little plastic tabs here. You need to bend back the metal tabs on the airbag. Do so carefully, but let's see if we can do this at the same time. So you can see the tabs are bent back, and once he's done over there, I'm gonna have him help me push these in so we can slot the cover off the airbag and put the new cover on, and then bend the tabs back. So I'm just gonna gently put that down.
Okay, steering wheel's back together. Initial impressions are pretty good.
A little bit of a pain, but it's together.
Yeah, it's a tight fit, but it's pretty good. So we're gonna start getting this back on and then working the airbag. Yep. Now we have this custom airbag cover, which is really nice. This was really nerve-wracking to do. I've never actually exposed an airbag before.
Yeah.
In order to do it, you have to basically release these, what is it, 6 tabs right here by basically squeezing towards. These metal like pieces right here, you want to fold them away if you don't have enough clearance. Fold them away. You can do it with a friend, or I think if you slowly release it in a clockwise or counterclockwise direction, you might be able to finagle it on your own. Then you slide off the cover. You're going to see the airbag. Just be really careful. Always keep the airbag pointing upwards and away from you. You never know. Super scary in my opinion. Steering wheel's back on. We've got the harnesses plugged into the clock spring. So all that's left to do, theoretically, is to plug in the ground, these two harnesses, and press it and see if the cotter pins just catch.
Pop into place. I think they should.
So, let's do it. You know, make sure you double check your work. Word of advice, to make sure that you transfer your cotter pins. That was a little annoying.
I think that's an understatement, but yeah.
And make sure that your ground is also like secure, because if your ground comes loose while your car's plugged in, that's super sketch. I just would not want to be able to tug on my ground and then like, I don't know. But this is how it turned out. Blam. That is...
It looks great.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That is... I mean, that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I like it a lot. That should have been OEM.
I agree with you.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And the combination of that with the shift boot and the shift knob all matchy now, and the cover on top.
Yeah, so everything. shift boot, oh, that's a lot of red stitch. Looks good. So that's gonna do it for our steering wheel and airbag trim install video. Let us know what you guys thought. It is pretty straightforward, just take your time.
Yeah, it's more time consuming than it is difficult.
Yeah, for sure. I'd rate it, I mean, we've been doing this for a while, but for a beginner, this is probably like a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. If your experience is pretty straightforward. But let us know what you guys thought of the video in the comments down below. And if you want to see any other RCF content, check out our RCF playlist. Or if you want to see something that we haven't done yet, let us know in the comments down below as well. And if you like the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one.
And we appreciate you guys.